Socrates, let me just get straight to it. You were killed for asking questions. They gave you poison and you drank it. But before we talk about why they killed you, I need to know, what did you see in people that made you keep questioning them even though you knew it would get you killed?
I saw people in chains who thought they were free. And the worst part, they would fight me to stay in those chains. Let me be very specific about what I mean, because this isn't abstract philosophy. This is about your life right now. When I walked through Athens, I'd stop a young man and ask him, "What do you want in life?" And he'd say something like, "I want to be successful, make money, have a good reputation." So I'd ask him why, and he'd look at me confused like it's obvious. Because that's what a good life is. And that's when I'd start digging. Who told you that? Did you examine whether money actually brings happiness? Or did you just accept it? Did you investigate if reputation brings fulfillment? Or is that just what everyone around you values? And you know what happened every single time? The person would get angry, defensive. Because I wasn't just questioning their goals. I was exposing that they never chose those goals. They absorbed them.
But everyone wants money and success. That's not exactly a shocking thing to want.
That's exactly my point. Everyone wants it. But did you decide you wanted it? Or did you just inherit that desire? Think about your own life right now. You probably stress about your career, about making something of yourself, about not wasting your potential. But stop for a second and ask, where did that anxiety come from? Did you sit down one day and consciously decide success and achievement will make me fulfilled? Or did you just absorb that from every movie you watched? Every parent who asked, "What was your plan?" Every friend who compared themselves to you. You're chasing goals you never chose. You're stressed about standards you never set. And you think it's your authentic self wanting these things.
Okay, that actually just described my entire life. But how is that being in chains? I still chose my career.
Did you though? Or did you choose from a menu of options that was handed to you? Let me ask you something very specific. When you were young, did anyone ever sit you down and say, "Here are all the ways humans have found meaning throughout history, through contemplation, through service, through creation, through spiritual practice, through community, through understanding"? Or did they say, "You need to pick a career that makes money so you can be stable and successful"? So you think you made free choices, but you were only given certain options. It's like someone putting you in a room with 3 doors and saying you're free to choose any door. But you never questioned why there's only 3 doors, or who built the room, or if there's a window you could climb out of.
So you're saying society gave me a limited menu, and I think I'm free because I chose from that menu?
Yes, and it's worse than that. You defend that menu. If someone comes along and says, there are other ways to live, you resist them. You might even attack them, because you've invested your entire identity in the choices you made from that menu. You've spent years pursuing the career, building the life, becoming the person that menu told you to become. And if someone shows you the menu was limited, that means you might have wasted years chasing the wrong things. That's unbearable. So you defend the cage.
This is genuinely making me angry right now, and I don't know why.
Because I'm threatening your sense of self. Let me make this even more specific. Think about your beliefs, political, moral, religious, whatever. How many of those beliefs did you arrive at through genuine investigation versus just absorbing them from your environment? If you grew up in a conservative family, you're probably conservative. If you grew up in a liberal family, you're probably liberal. If you grew up religious, you probably have some version of those beliefs. If you grew up atheist, you probably are too. Now, some people will say, no, I questioned everything and arrived at these beliefs independently. But did you really? Or did you just find arguments that supported what you already felt, what you were already conditioned to believe?
Wait, but I can explain why I believe what I believe. I have reasons.
Everyone has reasons. The question is, did you examine the reasons or did you just inherit them and then rationalize them? Here's a test. Take any belief you're certain about, politically, morally, whatever. Can you argue the other side better than the people who hold the other side can argue it? If not, you don't actually understand your own position. You're just repeating a script. And most people can't do this. They can't steelman the opposing view because they never genuinely investigated it. They just know their side is right because it feels right. And it feels right because they were conditioned to feel that way.
Okay, I need to slow down, because you're basically saying I don't actually know why I believe anything.
I'm saying most of what you think is you is actually just programming. Your values, many of them were installed by your parents, your culture, your peer group. Your goals, absorbed from society's definition of success. Your fears, learned from watching what other people are afraid of. Your desires, shaped by whatever you were exposed to growing up. Even your personality, the way you present yourself, the way you talk, what you think is funny, what you think is important, so much of that is just you performing a role you learned. And the horrifying part is, you've been doing it so long, you can't tell the difference between the performance and who you actually are.
No, that can't be completely true, because I've made choices that went against what people expected.
Rebelling against your programming is still being defined by your programming. If your parents were strict and you became rebellious, you're still being shaped by them, just in opposition. True freedom isn't doing the opposite of what you were taught. It's examining what you were taught, examining the opposite, and then discovering what's actually true, independent of both. But most people never get there. They either conform or rebel, but both are just reactions to the original programming. Neither is freedom.
So how do you even know what's real, then? If everything is just programming, how do you find what's actually you?